Hello and welcome to today's informative tutorial on how to make a Lucet cord with 2 Gimps. I'm Jennifer Hansen from Stitch Diva Studios, and what you will need today in order to make this project is 1 Lucet, and we sell these gorgeous wool tree Lucets at stitchdiva.com. A cord that you'll actually be using for your Lucet cording. Make sure that it's smooth, that it's strong, that it's plied, not an unplied wool that will break. And then 2 decorative gimp cords. These could be thick and thin, they could be unplied, they're not going to have the stresses on them that your main cording cord is going to have. If you've never made Lucet cording before, this isn't the video you should start with. Go ahead and look on my YouTube channel. Take a look at the no-turn Lucet cord, how to make a no-turn Lucet cord, and then how to make a Lucet cord with the 1 Gimp. And that'll get you set up. This is a bit more of an intermediate cording. This isn't the first cord that you're ever going to want to make. So, how do we get started? What do we do? So the first thing that you do is you set up your Lucet, and you set it up just as you would any other kind of cording. Like so. So here's the tail coming down. I've wrapped it around like this, and a lot of times what I do is I take that working cord and I wrap it around my pinky 2 or 3 times. Then I hold that tail with my thumb, and I'm ready to get started. So this is going to be a no-turn cord that we're going to be starting out with. And the first thing I do, this is the right horn. I'm calling this the right horn and the left horn. The whole rhythm of making a Lucet cord with Gimps is making 2 stitches and doing something with the Gimps. But before that, what we're going to do is we're just going to get started by making 2 stitches first without any Gimps. So I take the lower stitch, bring it over the horn, take my working yarn from the back to the front, take my lower stitch on the left horn, bring it over like so, tighten it up, make sure that I've got it somewhere in the middle, and now I'm ready to introduce my first Gimp cord. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take this pink one here, and I'm going to lay it, I'll actually, just to make things nice and neat, I'll bring it through so I have the tail with the cording cord, the main cord that I'm going to use. And then you can see here that I'm holding, with the cord held in my right hand, okay, I'm holding it over here to my left, and I'm going to take, what did I just do? I took that out. I'm going to take my Gimp cord and bring it to the front. So it's going from the back over to the front and just laying over like this. And so, in fact, I'm going to move this over here so you can see it a little better. Okay, so here's my 1 Gimp cord. Let me move the second one out of the way because we're not using it yet. And now I'm going to make those stitches again. So I'm going to go from the front to the back over the right prong. Tighten it up a little bit. From the back to the front. Tighten it up again a little bit. And now I've made my 2 stitches. At the beginning everything's a little loose, don't worry about it. And I'm about to zero on in here so you can see it a little better. So it was like this. Now I'll bring it to the back, okay, and introduce the second Gimp. So now before when I was making my stitches, this working yarn had been held to the working Gimp side. The working end of the Gimp cord had been held to the front. Now I'm going to hold it to the back. Now I will take my second Gimp cord, and I'll introduce it here through the back, okay, and bring it to the front, the working end to the front. So let's take a look at this for a second to see what you notice, because I want you to notice something rather. The working end of the 1 Gimp cord is held to the back. the working end of the other gimp cord is held to the front. They're always going to be, the working ends will always be held in opposite directions. That's what makes this work. All right, let me continue with this. So now we've done that. I'm going to make 2 stitches. So going around the front. Okay, now going around the back. All right, there we have it. So let's see how this progresses here. Now that I've done that, now I'm going to switch the positions of the gimp cords. So the red, which was in the back, I'll now bring it over and bring it to the front, and I'll bring the pink to the back. I think I'll hold it here. And we're ready to start rolling, okay? So now, front to the back on the right, I'm going to make the 2 stitches, back to the front on the left, my 2 stitches, tighten them up, kind of tighten these up just a little bit, kind of give them a nice little tug to make sure you don't have any little loopy things going on in there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring the red to the back and the pink to the front, keeping them on to the right of my working yarn. Another thing you're going to notice is I'm going to be keeping my pink always to the left of the red. And I'm going to be consistent about that so that I have a consistent patterning in my gimp cord. Now you can play around with that and choose to do something else, but if you don't do the same thing consistently, you're going to get inconsistent patterning in your gimp cord. So do it again. Go back. And what I'm hoping you're going to see here in a couple of stitches is how this all begins to shape up. Keeping the pink to the right. See, I've got a little bit of pull here. All right. Pull that nicely so it's not too weird looking. Switch, make 2 stitches, and it's really the same thing again and again. What is it? Switch your gimp positions, make 2 stitches, and make sure that they're on opposite sides. Switch your gimp positions, making sure to consistently I'm keeping the pink consistently on the left and the red consistently on the right. Make 2 stitches. Okay, I'll do one more. All right, and now what I'm hoping that you're going to be able to begin to see here is the pattern that's beginning to emerge, where you can see I've got spots of pink, spots of red, and you can see kind of like this knitted stitch look on the side. That's the actual gimp cord, or not gimp cord, the actual Lucet cording stitches are making. So let's take a look at a real project that I'm working on. So here you can see a 2 gimp cord Lucet cord project, 2 gimp Lucet cord project that I've been working on. And I'm going to be making a bracelet out of this. And you can see I'm using a kind of a copper rayon with two kinds of cotton cording, and I'm holding the cotton double-stranded. So I have cotton balls and I'm pulling from the outside and the inside of the cotton ball. So I'm having to kind of beef up the thickness on the gimp cording. And you can see how it's wrapped around several times. Let's get a, see how gorgeous that cord is looking. And it's actually a pretty fast little project, so it's exactly the same as what you've seen before. I'm just going to do a little more of it. In this, you can see just by, let me go in here, the black, you can see how the black is seated more on the right and the cream cord is on the left. And if you're interested in making a similar project to this, I'll be showing how it looks at the end of the video. Completed, we'll have kits for it for sale on the website. Okay, so I had just made a stitch on the left fork, left prong rather, so now switching my gimps and continuing with the stitches. And you can see here, let me kind of zoom in. Don't be afraid of stuff like this. Let's see how like something got caught here. It's not quite right. Just when you go, just pull. When you go to switch your sides, make sure you kind of give a gentle little tug to make sure you don't have any weirdnesses that are hanging out on your cord because of a gimp that didn't have the right tension. Every time you change the position of that gimp cording, you have the opportunity to kind of pull it a little. Don't pull it too tight, because then that doesn't look good either. But you have the opportunity to kind of pull it and make sure the tension is how you want it to be. So anyhow, that's all there is to it. Switch the positions of the two cords, make two stitches, and repeat. And that's it, again and again and again. Anyhow, I'm just going to take about a minute and do some stitches at the pace that I would usually work if I was home alone listening to music or watching television, just so that you can get a feel for the rhythm of the technique and how it works. So that's it. I hope you're inspired to try your own 2-gimp Lucet cord. This is Jennifer Hansen from Stitch Diva Studios. Thank you so much for watching.